My Hotep brothers and sisters, this is Michael M. Hotep from the African History Network show. I want to invite you to a very special presentation I'm doing Saturday, December 8th, 2012. It's going to be done live in Detroit, Michigan, but we will be live streaming or web streaming the lecture as well. So if you're outside of the Metro Detroit area, around the country, outside the country, you'll still be able to tune in and watch this. December 8th, 2012, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be at Nandy's Knowledge Cafe, located at 12511 Woodward Avenue in Highland Park, Michigan. And I'll be doing the presentation, Should African Americans Celebrate European Holidays, the History of Christmas. This is going to be a fantastic presentation. If you've listened to my show, you know I've done a 20-part series dealing with the history of the various holidays. And out of all the holidays, the history of Christmas is the most complex and the most interesting as well. Okay, so this will take place Saturday, December 8th, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Nandy's is located at 12511 Woodward Avenue in Highland Park, Michigan, between Glendale and Highland Street, 4 blocks south of the Davidson Freeway. This will be a free event once again. Donations will be accepted. And you can visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, or our blog site, AfricanHistoryNetwork.wordpress.com, and we'll have the information right on the home page for you to do the web streaming through our Ustream account as well. It'll be free for you to web stream it. On our website right below where you web stream it, we'll have a PayPal button. So if you want to donate, we'll definitely appreciate that. It's very expensive doing what we do, and we're trying to do a lot more. So if you want to donate $1, $3, $5, that would greatly be appreciated. Okay. So this presentation, once again, Should African Americans Celebrate European Holidays, the History of Christmas. Some of the things we're going to deal with are, why is Christmas celebrated on December 25th? Okay. And before I get into that, you know, before I deal with controversial information on my show, I always let people know that the space within inside this circle, I usually have people hold their fingers up to form a circle, and I usually say something like, the space within inside this circle represents my realm of knowledge. Everything that I think I know about whatever I think I know is represented within the circumference of this circle. I must keep in mind that there are still things to know that exist outside the circumference of my own awareness. Now, the reason why I say that is because oftentimes when people hear something that contradicts what they have been taught or what they believe or what they think they know, they automatically reject it without doing any research to determine the validity of the new information that they are getting, and at the same time they usually don't use that same level of scrutiny to reanalyze or critique what it is they believe or what they think they know. Okay, so first of all, one of the things we have to understand is when we deal with the celebration of Christmas, to understand Christmas and the history of it and how it evolved into the celebration that we know of today, we have to study the pre-Christian holidays. We have to study the pre-Christian rituals and things of this nature. Okay, we can't start the study of it in 194 AD with the festival of the Epiphany, which was celebrated on January the 6th, the manifestation of Christ, or the first appearance of Jesus the Christ. And it's Jesus the Christ, not Jesus Christ, because Christ is not a last name, that is a title. Jesus the Christ. We can't start it with 336 AD and the festival of Nativity. Okay. So we have to deal with the pre-existence of existence. One of our Grandmaster Scholar Warriors, Booker T. Coleman, also known as Kaba Hiawatha Kamene, teaches us that if we want to study the existence of something, we have to first study the pre-existence of existence. So we, first of all, have to realize that nowhere in the biblical text does it state that Jesus the Christ was born on December 25th. Okay, we first have to come to that realization. And it may say it in the commentary, in the footnotes, things like that, but nowhere in the biblical text does it state that Jesus the Christ was born on December 25th. So why was December 25th chosen? All right. Now we also have to look at the pre-Christian holidays and what some Christians call pagan. Okay, and pagan is not a bad word. It just means something indigenous to village dwellers or a rural district or something like that. And we have to deal with the festival of Saturnalia, which was celebrated between December 25th and let me see, December 17th to December 25th, the Festival of Saturnalia. We have to deal with the Festival of Mithra, celebrated from, which was an ancient Persian deity of the sun, or also known as a sun god. The Festival of Mithra was celebrated from December 25th to January the 1st. And January the 1st was also the Festival of the Kalends, K-A-L-E-N-D-S. And from Kalends, we get the word calendar, okay? And the Festival of the Kalends was celebrated on the first day of the first month of the new year, all right? We also have to look at the festival or the celebration of Yule, okay? Y-U-L-E. And this is where we get the Yuletide, the Yuletide season from. This is where we get the Yule log from, the burning of the Yule log. And this was an ancient Scandinavian winter festival, okay, that was celebrated around, somewhere around December 21st also, okay? So we also have to look at the influence of Odin amongst the Germanic people, okay, of Germany. And Odin flying through the sky on a sled that's pulled by goats, all right? And Odin was the king of the gods, but Odin was also the father of Thor, okay, the god of thunder. And we're also going to deal with some of the origins of the days of the week, because Thursday was known as Thor's day. It was named after Thor, all right? So there's a lot of history involved in the origins of Christmas. We'll also deal with the Christian era and how they took elements from quote-unquote the pagans and incorporated this into the Christmas celebration. And I'm going to give you numerous sources. You know, I always bring the information, so I have articles and articles. And then this is a PowerPoint presentation as well. So you want to bring a pen and pad with you. I'm going to give you names of articles. I'll give you names of books, things of this nature, websites. So this is not entertainment. This is edutainment. And you're definitely going to be empowered. When we deal with this, we also have to talk about the origins of Sinterklaas, known as Bishop Nicholas, or Saint Nicholas, out of the Netherlands, out of Holland and the Netherlands amongst the Dutch. And we have to talk about Zwarte Piet, Black Peter. Now this is an article, okay, from the Huffington Post from December 6th, just yesterday, December 6, 2012, Zwarte Piet, opposition grows to racist Black Pete Dutch Christmas tradition. This is about Black Peter. We have to talk about Black Peter because this is incorporated, and this deals with the conquering of the Moors. And in one of the legends, Bishop Nicholas fought against this Moor, Black Peter, Zwarte Piet, and defeated him, and the Moor becomes his slave. Okay, and this is why he travels around with him, and he gives out coal and punishes bad children, the Black Peter. Okay, so we have to deal with this, and to understand this, we have to understand some of the history of the Moors going into the Iberian Peninsula in 711 AD, which is now Spain and Portugal. We have to understand these Africans going into Crete and Sicily and Ireland and Germany and Austria, things of this nature, and their presence there, and also in Corsica and Sardinia, their presence there, and the enormous effort that these Europeans expended to expel the Moors, and some of these Moors were then enslaved. Okay, so we have to understand some of that history to understand why they have this person in blackface known as Black Peter. Okay, so there's a lot of information here. Now the legend, according to the legend, they'll say that well, the Black Peter slides down the chimney and there's soot on his face. Well, you're trying to tell me that Black Peter doesn't wash his face? Why does he have soot on his face but not on his clothes? Why is it that Bishop Nicholas slides down the chimney but he stays white, but Black Peter is black? Why is this? Okay, so we'll deal with a number of different things, as well as the symbolism of Christmas as well. We have to talk about the symbolism. Where does Santa Claus come from? Where are the origins of Santa Claus? We have to look at Bishop Nicholas of Turkey. Back then it was called Myra. Okay, and the 3rd century monk who later becomes a bishop and is known to give gifts to children and becomes canonized as a saint. And so we have to look at that. We have to look at the influences from various cultures. As this story goes through different cultures, how their cultural influence gets injected into the story of Santa Claus. We have to look at the role that media plays in transforming Santa Claus or Sinterklaas amongst the Dutch, which was Saint Nicholas. So we have to look at Bishop Nicholas amongst the Dutch and how this religious figure gets transformed into a secular figure that's a cheerful, fat, old man. Okay, so we have to look at this. We have to look at the influence of four major factors in changing the way Christmas is celebrated. Because see, originally, people did not exchange gifts amongst family members. Gifts were usually exchanged from the master to the servant or the master to the slave. Okay, so we have to look at the second half of the 19th century, going from the mid to the late 19th century. We have to look at four major factors. We have to look at the role that literature played, such as 1823, the poem from Clement Clark Moore, A Visit from St. Nicholas, which starts out with the famous line, "'Twas the night before Christmas." This helped to change the way people thought about Christmas and introduce this character of Santa Claus, who rides on a sled pulled by 8 reindeer. 8 reindeer, because Rudolph was not introduced at this time. Rudolph is not introduced until 1939. Okay, we have to look at the role things like A Christmas Carol, the book by Charles Dickens, plays. We have to look at the role that the letter in 1897 in the newspaper that a little girl named Virginia writes, asking, "Is there a Santa Claus?" And the writer of that column replies back, "Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus." We have to look at the role that the department stores play, okay, and as well as the Industrial Revolution, because of the Industrial Revolution and because of Europeans gaining control of natural resources coming out of Africa and other countries, they are able to have an almost endless supply of natural resources, raw materials, to mass produce products now in the factories. These products before were, many of them made by, one man or 2 or 3 men, things like this, and it may take them some time to make one product. Now these products can be mass produced, okay? So we have to look at that, and then we have to look at mass media advertising and the role mass media advertising had in reshaping the way people view this holiday. So we have to look at those 4 major factors. We have to look at mass media advertising. We have to look at department stores. We have to look at the Industrial Revolution and factories, okay, that can mass produce products, okay, and we have to look at literature as well, okay. So we're also going to deal with some of the symbols of Christmas and where they come from. Where does mistletoe? Where does that come from? Why do people kiss underneath mistletoe? The Christmas tree. Why do people hang? Why do people put up a Christmas tree in their homes? Where does this come from? Now, a lot of people don't know. In the Bible, it speaks out against the Christmas tree in the Bible. Now, it doesn't call it the Christmas tree because nowhere in the biblical text does it mention the celebration of Christmas. Christ Mass, which that work is introduced in about 1038 A.D. When the Bible was written, that doesn't exist. Okay, the Mass of Christ. But actually, those who read the Bible and have a Bible, actually, if you go to Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 2 through 4, it tells you, "Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the people are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cuts a tree out of the forest, the works of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not." Okay, so a lot of people don't know that that's in the biblical text. So we're going to do a lot of information at this presentation. Once again, this is taking place Saturday, December 8th, 2012, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Nandy's Knowledge Cafe, okay, located at 12511 Woodward Avenue in Highland Park, Michigan, 4 blocks south of the Davidson Freeway between Glendale and Highland Street. All right, this is a free event, so if you're in the Metro Detroit area, definitely come on out to it. The African History Network, you will have DVDs there available for purchase as well, at a discounted price as always. And if you missed my lecture last week at Nandy's, I did a lecture December 1st Slavery's Back in Effect, the hidden relationship between the prison industrial complex, the new voter ID laws, and black population control. That DVD will be on sale as well.